Hi, and welcome to The Road Leads Back to Me. I'm Coral Seco. You're probably wondering, what does the road lead back to me mean? So, I wanted to share with you a little bit about me and how the road led back to me, and how you could use this podcast as a way of coming back to yourself. So, as I mentioned, my name is Coral Seco. I'm a licensed mental health counselor based in South Miami, Florida. I am a mom, a mommy, a mamacita, and a very much married wife that loves her husband and her two little boys very much. But outside of that, I'm also a trauma specialist, and I help people not only deal with stuff that has maybe stunted them in their life, but also people that are going through life transitions and maybe don't know exactly how to navigate through it. So that's my goal for this podcast, is for you to use the metaphor of the road leads back to me, to always know that as like a mantra for yourself. And even if you're ever at any sort of crossroads, we will use a lot of puns like that. Um, if you're ever at a crossroads, you could tell yourself the road leads back to me. Just remind yourself that whatever experience you're dealing with in this very moment is something that'll teach you something about yourself, and that you'll be able to hopefully learn from and expand on who you are, because we're all capable of doing that. And that's my goal with this podcast, to help you learn how to lead back to yourself. So, a little bit about me. I am Cuban Puerto Rican, and I was raised here in Miami, which is a jambalaya melting pot of every sort of culture. And I'm very grateful to have been exposed to the different types of culture that I have, because I am someone who really grounds herself in acknowledging culture almost even over science. And I think that's really important, because culture really matters, especially in all of our psychology and personal psychology. So when you take into consideration how you were raised, or what we call in brain spotting programmed, um, you will then recognize, wow, maybe this keeps me back a little bit. Or maybe I find myself being a little bit too much in this area. And it was what I saw my mom do, or it was what I was kind of taught to do growing up. And a lot of us can resonate. You don't have to be Hispanic to resonate with that. But it's something that we're really taught. And I know in my lived experience, it was something that was really programmed in me. It took a long time. Growing up, I didn't have a lot of money. I was raised in a lower middle class family, and I didn't have access to therapy or a therapist like me. And so that's another reason why I wanted to make this sort of program, so that I could help people out and just, hey, here's a video. Maybe something I'm saying resonates and it could help you out. And even if it helps one person, then that's all I need. But I always want you to know that the road does lead back to me, in that regard, that the me is you, and that you always can come back to you, even if you're hearing something from me or any other creator on this platform that you're just trying to learn about yourself. You want to honor that. So you're probably wondering, what should I expect from this podcast, The Road Leads Back to Me? Okay, let me tell you about it. If you look back here, I'm not your average therapist. These are all parts of me. This is live from my actual therapy office. So if you ever come to eccentric therapy, which is where I practice, and that's my own private practice in Miami, then this is the space that you'd be doing therapy in. And I felt like that was really important to share, because I, on this platform, am going to share and be very vulnerable with you guys. As I mentioned, or have mentioned, I am not your average therapist. I live by my eccentricity and Aquarian nature. So you're going to hear me talk about horoscopes. You're going to hear me talk about all things pop culture and make a lot of pop culture references. And also, we're really big Swifties around here, so we're also going to be talking about that. And I want to normalize having these sometimes really difficult conversations, and leveraging them with humor, but also humility, and understanding that all of our roads have detours, U turns, and abrupt stops. And sometimes we have crashes. And those crashes are like our realistic rock bottoms. But they're important for our journey, because then we learn to be a little wiser when we're driving, or being more mindful. And that's stuff that I want to teach you guys how to do here, and how to clock things. I am an elder millennial that really, really believes in the power of each of our own healing. And if I could help anybody, I want to try to do that. So that's what you could expect on here. Another thing that you could be expecting around here are listening to things that are called hard truths. I want to try to show up as a loving big sister that is the adult that I wish I had growing up. I do that and I want to teach you how to do that because living in alignment with your values and who you were and who little you needed will be more of you reparent that part of you. And I want to teach you how to do that here because some of us maybe need a little supplement to therapy and maybe we can't afford going to a therapist. So if this could be that for you, then let's do it. And I want to make this page as interactive as I can because I really believe in the power of community. So I ask that if you ever have any questions or want me to expand on anything, please share in the comments, shoot me over a DM. And if you're open to it, I'm happy to share your at. Or if not, I can give you my synopsis on what I believe this is. But I really believe in the power of community and sharing real life examples and just talking and connecting with others that maybe can understand where you're coming from. So I hope you can strap on your seatbelt and hop on the ride because the road is a little windy and definitely very curvy at times and super bumpy. But when you think about it and applying it to yourself, the road leads back to me. And you can always find the detour and always make it back home. And that home is you. So come on, let's go on the ride.